Boom to the hay, all your sports fans out there in the two-ball sphere. To you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to Fast Track Sports Track highlights here on talk radio version of the OMSR. I'm your brief but very concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Talk briefly and concisely about last collegiate event of the year, other than the CWS, the Outdoor Track and Field Championships. Much like last year, good stuff going on. Cookie Sport Run's going to be about. While there weren't quite the storylines of epic sports proportions going on like last year, there were some way more and some great photo finishes and some upsets this year. And then why does the OMSR have to split these up into so many damn parts in the first place? Believe me, it's not my first choice. In the meantime, we'll play.
And our next event will be the women's 1500 final, where it is an opportunity for these teams to gain ground on Texas A&M, which has now taken the lead over Oregon. The fastest this year is in the field. That would be Stephanie Brown of Arkansas. In fact, she's trying to become the first runner to win this event from Arkansas. Emily Lapari, Larry.
Well, NCAA Indoor Champion has a fearsome kick. She's had a brilliant senior year particularly, and started in high school and kept going as soon as she got to Villanova 4 years ago. This is Stephanie Brown, who was a star in high school in Illinois. She's wrapping things up at Illinois this year, and she's got great 800-meter speed, so she's a factor here in this 1500-meter race. And another woman wrapping her career, Cory Mcgee, who has been just terrific for the University of Florida and competed for the United States at the World Championships a year ago.
Making his final, Linden Hall of Florida State, Brooke Handler of Michigan, Shelby Houlihan of Arizona State, Allison Pear of Kentucky, Penny of Oregon, Hansen of Wisconsin, and Strasser of Florida.
Keep an eye on the junior from Arizona State, Shelby Houlihan, having a magnificent year. She's a two-time Pac-12 outdoor 1500-meter champion, and she won the 15 and the 5 at the Pac-12s recently. All these ladies have run the 1500 meters this year, Sam, between 4 minutes and 10 and 4 minutes and 17 seconds. And that works out to about a 4:30 mile to 4:37. That's how fast they have been this outdoor season. And they are playing into Emily Lapari's hands right now, and maybe a few other kickers in the field. They're going slowly. As a matter of fact, this pace smartly for her is being set by Lapari. She got the lead, she got in front, she slowed it down, and no one's gone around her to keep the pace really honest.
Houlihan of Villanova is right there with her.
So isn't Houlihan, number 3 on her hip, has moved up a bit, but nobody wants the lead and trying to carry this thing for 3 full laps. So the speed of Lapari at the finish could be a major factor here.
It's Rachel Snider of Georgetown out in front at the moment.
Yes, very possible.
Sarah Penny of Oregon has worked her way into the top 4 right now as the Ducks try to maintain their lead on the women's field in the team competition.
McGee from Florida biding her time.
And there is a stumble, and it was Penny who went off the track from Oregon.
It's what happens when a pace is slow. Look how bunched they are. Look how bunched. You're just trying to make sure you don't step on somebody.
Laura Racler yesterday in her race, no pun intended, also got bumped but managed to recover to win it.
2:25 at the 800 meters. Things are going to get hot here anytime in the next 200 meters.
Houlihan of Arizona State now is in the front of the pack. Snider of Georgetown second.
Houlihan with a 5,000 meter strength may try a long kick for home and put the heat on here sometime in maybe a 500 meter move. Somebody's got to do something here.
Cory Mcgee of Florida has worked her way up to 3rd at the moment, but again, they are still bunched up in a pack. Hall from Florida State is now in the conversation up front as well, as is Michigan's Handler. 1 lap to go. Final lap to determine our NCAA champion in the women's 1500 outdoor final.
Pace quickening.
It is Houlihan out front for the moment. Hall in second. Mcgee of Florida in third.
Houlihan has run 4:13 for 1,500 meters this year. And look at Mcgee, slides by on the inside, waits for a move. Smart move by Cory Mcgee. She lets them out, just kind of break whatever breeze is out there in second and third place. 200 to go.
Mcgee and Houlihan battling it out.
Lapari has not made a move yet. She's left herself a lot of real estate to make up.
Houlihan retakes the lead. Can Mcgee catch her? Shelby Houlihan of Arizona State, two-time Pac-12 outdoor champion, is going to win this race for her first NCAA title. And in second place, it's Mcgee.
Lyndon Hall from Florida State gets up for third, and Lapari winds up fourth.
Shelby Houlihan from Sioux City, Iowa becomes the first Arizona State runner to win this event.
Here's a backstretch move. Smart move by Mcgee. Her last race for the Razorbacks. She slips inside. Good move. But look at the response that you get from Shelby Houlihan, a junior from Arizona State. And she just powers all out here the last 200 meters and has something left as Mcgee ties up a bit. And Lyndon Hall gains on Mcgee, but winds up in third place. Lapari cannot catch her.
So Shelby Houlihan of Arizona State with an upset in the women's 1500 final, beating back a challenge from Cory Mcgee of the University of Florida.
All right, some good stuff going on there. You know where you are based on the title. I wholeheartedly recommend to go back and see part 1, so that the context and the backdrop, the background as to why this event's always held there. Other than the beautiful weather in that stretch of Oregon. When I was married, I honeymooned up the coast. Perfect temperature and lower humidity, even with a higher humidity. Great location to be getting your body temperature all worked up. So, yeah, plenty of other, depending on, trying to figure this out here, how to say this. Depending on which one you've seen, I contrasted the men to the women's, mostly on the track, because that's what they were focused on, frankly, and not so much the field. So, quickie sport rant. Why does the OMSR have to break this up into so many little itty-bitty parts? Well, like with last year, I did a show in a different style, and I will be the first to say I was a little too hopped up that day. And, yeah, it's too in your face, too silly, and it was too long in the beginning. I've been doing talk radio version now for a while to cover and/or mass produce a lot of different sporting events. Only if it's a big deal do I do a show live from the set, which has been only 3 so far this year. But now there's only 2 on the channel because the Florida State fourth quarter, somebody came along and flagged it, trying to piggyback on some bogus third-party content ID claim. And therein lies the heart of the matter. You try to borrow from other sources. The OMSR is always stuck to the tenets of the OMSR sponsor being the DMCA. However, these can still get flagged. There's a mathematical formula to it, and I'm not at liberty to really get into that, lest I reveal any trade secrets, but that's the reason why there's more. These are split up into more, as opposed to trying, like I did last year, trying to combine the men and women's events into one show, based on the particular distance being run. This year, they're all separated. But at least you'll know, since this is the baseline show, the intro will be the same, the intro here will be the same. You'll know when to fast forward and stop to. I don't expect you to stick around and necessarily listen to it. What I'm saying, I'm kind of assuming at this point, because of upcoming Gen 5.0, I've decided to take like the longer parts of the sports talk radio, what we're doing right now, and put it at the end. So the intros are always only 1 minute now. And like for baseball, won't be any in the beginning. I'll put it all to the end. But it indemnifies the OMSR position by me doing this because it increases the original content, and you might learn something a little bit about YouTube and fair use standard of the DMCA. And when I'm not going on and on about this because I'm worried about T3 Media coming in, the NCAA's media arm, and flagging all of these, get a quickie sport rant that's relevant to the sporting events being covered. And I sort of already did that by saying there were a lot more thrilling finishes this year, even though the storylines didn't quite match up to last year. All the video highlights courtesy to ESPN and the NCAA. Everything else, to the OMSR. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching those silly DUIs while you're out there. Celebrate what's left in the finals. We are later out here.